everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Megan. If you've never been to my channel before, I take books I've read and compare them to their movie adaptation. This episode's a little bit different just because I am on vacation and I'm in Punta Cana. So usually my phone's just kind of propped up somewhere and I'm filming, but today I'm going to be holding it, so it might get a little shaky. And then also my notes are on a phone and they might be a little hard to read, so I don't have my laptop. But here we go. I'm talking about P.S. I Still Love You by Jenny Han. I loved the first one, and I just finished the book. I made myself wait till just before it came out on Netflix. So I just finished the book, and then I watched the movie. Yes, while I'm on vacation, that's what I do. Okay, here we go. So the whole intro of the movie is kind of different than the intro of the book, but so if you watch my last video I made for not the last one, but the one I made for her first movie book, To All the Boys I Loved Before, if you watch my first video, I was very confused on like how it was a sex tape and all that going around, because in the book it wasn't a tape, it was just like rumors. But now I read the second book and I see that they kind of put some stuff from the second book into the first movie. So the whole intro was different, but they addressed the sex tape stuff last movie. There was no contract necessarily in the movie. In the book, they made up a contract, and in the end, they promised not to break each other's hearts, but they just kind of blatantly said it without making a contract in the movie. Margot is back at school already in the movie, which is very different. She played a pretty big role in the first book, just helping her sister through stuff and things like that. There were Harry Potter references with Jon Ambrose, which I thought was a cute little addition to the movie because very pop culture related. There was no really feeling awkward about Genevieve on Lara Jean's behalf. The whole book was mainly about her like internal conflict with her and Genevieve, and I feel like we didn't see that much in the movie. Of course, we did see it a little later on. At the time I typed this, it was still pretty early on in the movie. And we just weren't seeing it yet, where we were already seeing that in the book. He knows Jon Ambrose. Oh yeah, I was excited about that. Wait, what? I don't know why I said that. He knows Jon Ambrose. Who knows Jon Ambrose? I mean, I know in the books Peter knows him. Did he know him in the movie too? I already forgot. Okay. The conversation about John's letter happens at school, where she was telling Peter, like, oh, John wrote me a letter. And then Peter didn't show any jealousy over it. Like, in the book, he was like, well, who did you like more? And he was a little bit jealous, but he didn't show that in the movie. But then later, in Lara Jean's imagination, she's saying, like, oh, well, he's saying, who did you like more? But in the book, he actually asked that, whereas in the movie, he didn't. And then I said, oh, there's the Jen jealousy. I was very pleased with the amusement park date. I know usually I don't like when, sorry, there's like literally people walking by down there. I know usually I don't like when movies cut things from the book and then put in their new whatever twists, but I love amusement parks, so that's a win for me. I'm biased. And then I forget, like, last movie, did they not get the dog, Jamie Foxx Pickle? Because I didn't see him at all in this movie, so I'm guessing they didn't get him because he was pretty prominently featured in the book and then not so much in the movie. Not at all in the movie. And then I was very excited they kept the character of Stormy, and then not only did they keep her, but they kind of made her a more prominent character. But I'll talk about that a little later on. Shoo-ba-doo-ba-doo. And then I was very surprised it showed Jon Ambrose so early on. In the book, they wrote letters for a while, and then he makes his first appearance at the time capsule party. But in the movie, he shows up at the nursing home right away as Stormy's grandson. I mean, sorry, in the movie, he's not the grandson. He's just, that's in the book. In the movie, he's just a volunteer with Lara Jean. So he shows up right away, and they have a lot of their letter conversations in person, which makes sense because it's a movie. Valentine's Day was way different in the movie. There was no gift exchange in the morning. And then she's set up to believe, like, she's going to be serenaded by these singers who go around. And then, like, Kavinsky gets a bunch of Valentines from girls who like him. it was just a lot going on Valentine's Day that didn't happen in the book. And then I was very mad, like, when she got her letter back from John Ambrose. Like, they changed completely what the letter said, and I just don't, like, there was no point to that. There was no bringing what the letter said to present day, connecting it that way. So I don't get why they changed it from what the book said. Like, it was just a completely different letter. And it was still a cute backstory, but I feel like the backstory from the book letter was cute too. So I don't really get why they changed that. I was mad. Like, the books are all about the letters, and the movies too, and then they changed it. So I was mad. And then, so Peter writes Lara Jean like a poem for Valentine's Day, and he actually doesn't write it himself. He plagiarizes it, and in the book, Chris tells her that, her best friend Chris, but in the movie, Stormy tells her that. In the book, she liked John Ambrose in 8th grade, but in the movie, she liked him in 6th grade. Movie put in a bingo scene, but that's okay because the conversation took place in the letters, like I had said earlier. John Ambrose brought up that thing about Peter taking the last slice of pizza, but in the book, Lara Jean was like, hey, have you ever noticed? Like, he always takes the last piece of pizza. It's so annoying. But in the movie, he brought it up. So, I mean, I guess I kind of get that. Like, it kind of seemed like she was talking smack about her man, so whatever. And then they changed the freaking USO ball to the Star Ball. Lame. This whole time, I was wondering who Chris's man is. Like, she was flirting with this man in the whole movie, and that was not a thing in the book. And it turns out it's Trevor from Time Capsule Party from back when they were kids. So, okay, Chris, get you some. I said it before and I'll say it again. Movie Chris is way better than book Chris. Book Chris was lame. Jen outed LJ, Lara Jean, about her Orioles shirt, which just happened in her head where she's thinking about the Orioles shirt that she got to impress John Ambrose. But in the movie, Jen says it in front of everyone. Oh, I was so sad that they cut out the assassin game. That was like the best part of the book. It sounded so fun and they cut it. Peter was mad that John Ambrose brought pizza, which wasn't a thing in the book. And then, okay, so John Ambrose telling the backstory on his name with him playing the piano was very cute, and I fell in love with him in that second. So, yeah, it was the best scene. Fakes. Oh, so Fakesgiving. The whole thing with Fakesgiving was that it was only where the mom met the dad in the book, where they met. But then in the movie, they keep celebrating it, and then they invite Mrs. Rothschild. And in the book, Miss Rothschild was invited to Kitty's birthday, but they don't have the dog, so Kitty doesn't have the relationship with Mrs. Rothschild. So they're just changing too much because they didn't get a dang dog. They should have just gotten a dang dog. Okay, and then that's blah, blah, blah. And then so Peter was late to the lacrosse game because he was dealing with Jen. In the book, he didn't show up at all. And then John Ambrose had driven her there, and like they witnessed it together, Peter and Jen together. But Chris just showed a picture, was like, look at your man, you better go get him. And they have that whole talk right there before he's getting on the bus to go to his lacrosse game instead of later on at her house. Oh no, I scrolled up. Hold on, I texted someone my list. And then Heartbroken Lara Jean was another great scene, like just showing her like that song that played, like that was a really good scene, and just showing how sad she was. I think they did it really well. And then I feel like movie Peter was less of a jerk than book Peter. She offered to give him the necklace back rather than him asking, and that's not even the only instance. Like, I feel like this is the biggest change in the book. I really didn't like Peter at all in this book, and I loved him so much in the last book, so I was kind of shocked. But I did not like him. I did not think she should be with him. I really wanted her to switch over to John Ambrose, Team John Ambrose. But yeah, movie Peter was slightly better. I still think he was a jerk. I still think she should have ended up with John Ambrose, but he was definitely better. and less of a jerk. Like, he was so rude in the movie, so unnecessary. I mean, in the book. And then I was mad that there was no snowball fight scene between Lara Jean and John. And then I would have loved to see their USO outfits. That would have been so cute. Like, I'm so mad they changed it to Starball. And then literally for the rest of the movie, I didn't even take notes because, like, I don't even know why. I had to keep stopping the movie to go take notes and then come back, and I was sick of it. So I'm just going to talk about it a little bit. So at the Starball, she kisses John Ambrose, and, like, right away she's like, I kissed him and I don't like him. And that's not how it happened in the book. In the book, she kind of liked them both, and then she ended up choosing Peter. So in the movie, she's like, I gotta go tell him right now after talking to Stormy, my girl Stormy. And yeah, so she runs out of the Starball, and then Peter's there. He's like, you don't like driving in the snow, so I came to get you. Which, of course, now he's going to be a gentleman after being a jerk the whole movie, but whatever. So, yeah, and then they talked and blah, 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 and it was sweet. But, so the biggest differences I saw in the movie, first of all, one was the dad's relationship with Mrs. Rothschild. In the book, they were very much trying to force them together, and he was oblivious. He's like, what? No, I don't need to date, blah, blah, blah. And in the movie, he's very much pursuing her and, like, flirting with her and nervous around her, so that was a big difference. The other big difference I already mentioned was Margot being back at school. I feel like Kitty wasn't in this movie, like, at all. Was she? I don't even remember. If she was, it was not enough. She was in the book a lot. Her relationship with Peter and things like that. What was another? And then just obviously John Ambrose doesn't look how he was described in the book, which I don't have a problem with, but it just described him as blonde so much that, I love movie John Ambrose, so I don't have a problem with that. What else was different? Yeah, I guess that's it. Just more in-person conversations than text or letters, which makes sense. Again, I don't like the scenes of her talking to the boys, like, in her head, but they're, like, in the room. I think those are weird. The aquarium scene was just added. There were a lot of scenes that were added, but I honestly feel like there weren't that many taken away. I really missed the assassin game. I have a question about the assassin game. So, let's say Lara Jean had Genevieve, and Genevieve had Lara Jean, right? And Lara Jean gets Genevieve out. Then all she has is her name. So where do you go from there? That's a flaw in that game. Maybe that's why they didn't put it in, because they're like, this game doesn't work in real life. I don't know. But, yeah, and then there was a big talk with Genevieve that Lara Jean had where she was kind of coming to terms, and that never happened in the book. They just kind of, I guess they kind of talked, but it wasn't like in the movie where she called Genevieve to come talk to her, and you don't see what Genevieve's family drama is either, really. You just hear, like, oh, they're getting divorced, but in the book it's a lot more than that. So in this case, I think I liked the movie better, just because Peter was such a jerk in the book, and then she ended up with him, and I don't like that. He was still a jerk. Either way, Team John Ambrose. Like, y'all see a guy like that, pass him along my way. Okay, well, I'm going to go back to enjoying my vacation. If there's anything I missed out, please let me know in the comments. Like I said, my notes were not the best this time, so just let me know, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.